let's do another video today. What are we gonna talk about, Mama?
I don't know, there's so much to talk about on
How about we talk about black people in America? Oh boy. Woo! Controversy! Here we go. Sorry, baby. Whenever I talk about black people in America, and black people in general, I get excited because, you know, black people are very fun people, right? They're very creative, they have very high EQs most of the time. Very unique people. Certainly much more so, at least on the EQ department, than Asians, wouldn't you say? Do you see, Mama? That's right. So supportive. Oh yeah, soul brothers and sisters. Anyway, so recently, cruising on YouTube, I found a segment by Trevor talking about how China is colonizing Africa through money. And there seemed to be a consensus among a group of Africans, and maybe some African Americans, that, oh, here we go again. We got rid of the white masters, now the yellow masters coming trying to colonize us. First of all, I want to tell you that you never got
keep right onto E1 towards Surumban.
And I don't know if this whole thing is yellow master true or not. Honestly, I don't know. But I can tell you from an economic standpoint, is the typical, I hate to say this, the victim mentality surfacing again, you know? On one hand, you always hear black people saying, oh, we need help, we need this, we need that from the world to help us. Whether it's COVID-19, whether it's, they always need help. On the other hand, when they get help, they complain there's strings attached. Or, oh, I borrowed money, but I have to pay it back? I'm sorry, who in the world does anything for free? Certainly not black people. So why do you expect other people, like white people or Asian people, do yellow people, do it for free for you? So there's a little bit of conflict there, don't you think? And also this victim mentality, absolutely is, okay, sorry black people, but it's holding you back. And you know what? The white people are playing into your victim mentality. The liberal American, oh,
in 5.3 kilometers, keep left towards Pusat Bandaraya and Petaling
they're not
Jaya.
helping you. They're keeping you back. And I know that smart black people can agree with me that liberal America is no friend of yours, or liberal Western world is no friend of yours. You know, constantly, if you have this beggar mentality, like the world owe you something because you're unfortunate, you're oppressed, you never get ahead. You never learn to go out there and make it on your own. Were the Asian people oppressed? Hell yeah, absolutely. We're oppressed too. Are white people oppressed? Hell yeah. There are groups of white people that are also oppressed. It has nothing to do with race, actually. It fundamentally is a social, economic struggle between people, not race struggle. Okay? It just so happens, especially in America and also in much part of the world, that majority of black people happen to land in the lower social economic ladder. No, not all black people, not Michael Jordan, not Jay-Z, not Kanye West, you know, not all these people, but some people do. But don't look at this as a race thing. The moment you look at this as racing, you're trapped into that victimless mindset. You're trapped into that zone in your mind you can never get out of. And it's like that mindset that keeps you poor. It's that mindset that keep the situation the way it is. You know, it's like African companies, oh, you Chinese people, you make loans to exploit us. Well, who the hell could tell you to take that loans? If you go in there, you know you can't pay it back, don't take the loans. The same works for individuals as it does for nations. So I'm gonna educate you how loan works, okay? When you borrow money from anyone, whether it's individual or country or group, usually you will need a collateral. Now, some people don't put up collaterals. Like, what about like Mark Zuckerberg? He doesn't put up collateral. Actually, he does. He put up collaterals like his stocks. But you always need a collateral. Even reputation is a collateral. You need a collateral, right? So I assume that these African countries, because they really don't have anything worth that much, the collateral is whatever land or key relatively key valuable asset they own, whatever it's worth, whether that's mineral rights, whether that is a port, anything strategic, right? So of course, if you borrow money, no one's gonna give you money for free. They're gonna need some guarantees. That shouldn't be too hard. And if you don't pay it back, of course they're gonna seize your collateral, right? That's because you use that collateral as a guarantee. That's how it works. If you borrow money to buy a house, you can't pay back the loan. What do? They take the house back. The bank takes the house back. If you borrow money from a bank to buy a car, you can't pay the bank back, loan back. What happened? The bank repo your car. Why is it so hard to understand? Why is this exploitation? If it doesn't, it's not exploitation on individual level. It surely is not exploitation on national level. You would think that the leaders of these African countries would be smart enough to, one, to realize that if they can't pay back the loan, they should not get one. And two, if they put up some collateral, then it's collateral they afford to lose if they can't pay back the loan. So please, it drives me nuts. And to hear things like this from black people. You don't think Asians took loan from the West to develop? But we paid it back. You ever heard Japanese, Korean, and Chinese not paying back their loans? Do we? I mean, if we don't pay it back, we're like, oh, you're exploiting us, poor Chinese people. But the funny thing is, do you hear that at all? You don't, do you? And also, why do you think the white people are jumping on bad? Like, yeah, right, the Chinese exploiting white people. But when the white people loan you money, they don't say that. You think it's because they care suddenly about black people? Come on, people. Grow a brain, please. Understand how the world works. It just frustrates the heck out of me that this mindset is keeping black people back, but they keep using that card to try to get something for free. Didn't you see the whole point of getting something for free is holding you back? Jesus. Goodbye.